Hello, welcome to Top Stories today. Some residents of Lagos have decried the non-implementation of the state government's free antenatal and child delivery services at some general hospitals and primary health care centers in the state. A SpaceX rocket carrying 3 U.S. astronauts and 1 Russian cosmonaut has blasted off from Florida bound for the International Space Station. A stunning goal by Democratic Republic of Congo forward Yuan Wiza helped Premier League strugglers Brentford draw 2-2 with Chelsea in a London derby at the weekend. Welcome to News Hour on TV Sapiencia with me, Chioma Vickwemeka. The news in full. Some residents of Lagos have decried the non-implementation of the state government's free antenatal and child delivery services at some general hospitals and primary health care centers in the state. The residents spoke in separate interviews with the newsmen on Sunday yesterday in Lagos. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu had, during a media chat on February 22, announced the sweeping interventions which the state will be implementing to reduce the effects of the current economic hardship on its citizens. On health, Sanwo-Olu reintroduced a free child delivery program for expectant mothers in all the state-owned general hospitals and special maternity centers. According to the governor, the state government will take up the cost of the child delivery, including cesarean operation and section. The residents said that the free antenatal and child delivery services were lip service, stressing that the hospitals charge and still charge for every service rendered to patients. Away from that, companies that breach the new expatriate employment levy policy will pay 3 million naira each for each offense. The offenses are not submitting EEL, not registering an employee, a corporate entity not renewing EEL within 30 days, and providing false information on EEL, which is expatriate employment levy. And of course, it is a financial contribution imposed on employers who hire foreign workers. The levy, which is mostly on the offshore earnings of expatriates working in Nigeria, aims to balance economic growth and workforce development by ensuring equitable contributions from expatriate employment. President Bola Tinubu launched the policy on February 28, 2024. He stated that the EEL would close the wage gaps between expatriates and the Nigerian labor force while increasing employment opportunities for qualified Nigerians in foreign companies operating within the country. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, says the federal government plans to send some medical personnel abroad for training in certain specialties with a view to checking medical tourism and enhancing research. Alausa said the Federal Ministry of Health was working with the National Postgraduate Medical College, Ijanikan, Lagos State towards the plan. The Health Minister spoke in Lagos on Friday during the investiture of Dr. Peter Ebeiwe as the 23rd President of the National Postgraduate Medical College, Ijanikan. Ebeiwe, a fellow in the Faculty of Obstetrics and Gynecology, was elected on December 1, 2023 during the 131st statutory meeting of the governing board of the college, and he's expected to hold the position for the next 2 years after taking over from the immediate past president, Dr. Akisanya Oshibogun. Delivering a speech at the ceremony, Alausa said the ministry was developing new curricula to solve the challenges in the health sector. President Bola Tinubu has asked Qatari captains of industry to report any Nigerian official who demand any form of bribe before allowing them to do business in the country. He insisted that Nigeria would no longer be held back by its past dotted with bureaucratic bottlenecks and a corruption that stifled the ease of doing business. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelele, revealed this in a statement titled President Tinubu to Quatari investors. Report to me, my officials who obstruct progress or ask for bribe, no deviation from path to prosperity. Tinubu also assured the international business community that Nigeria was ready for serious business, as the administration would deal decisively with any and all entrenched interest in the country that undermined investors' confidence in the Nigerian economy. The Nigerian Air Force said on Sunday that its men discovered and destroyed 4 illegal crude oil refining site in Krakama and Temakiri in the Degama local government areas of Rivers State. NAV's Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gagwet, in a statement on Sunday said the sites were destroyed in an operation conducted on March 1, 2024. Both locations are barely 50 kilometers southwest of Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers State. Cotonou boats were at the active illegal refining site to load crude oil as well. Away from that, still in maritime, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency has said at least 10,000 jobs will be created following an offshore waste management agreement signed with a private firm, XPO Marine Services Limited. The agreement is for the collection of offshore waste generated in the eastern zone, speaking on Friday in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, during the flag-off of the offshore waste reception facility for the eastern zone operations of NEMA. The agency's Deputy Director of Public-Private Partnership Unit, Kabiru Disu, said for decades it was difficult to take care of waste beyond 10 nautical miles of the country's shoreline. President Bola Tinubu on Sunday in Doha, the capital of Qatar, said Nigerian youths are worth every investment as they are educated, reliable and proactive. He argued that a few bad eggs cannot be a yardstick for gauging the capacity of the majority, who he said were ready to be unleashed for the mutual benefit of both nations. Tinubu said these when he and the Emir of the State of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, witnessed the signing of the 7 landmark agreements between both nations after a closed-door talks at the presidential palace in Doha. The 7 agreements signed were a cooperation agreement in the field of education, regulation of employment of workers with the government of Qatar, establishment of a joint business council between the Qatar Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry and Mines and Agriculture, in addition to a cooperation agreement in the field of youth and sports. The other agreements were cooperation in the field of tourism and business events and a memorandum of understanding to combat illicit trade of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. We take a break right now. When we return, the National Emergency Management Agency has refuted media reports suggesting that the looting of its warehouse in Abuja, asserting that the warehouse in question does not belong to the agency. These and other stories will come your way after this timeout. Please do stay with us. Glad to have you join us right back on News Hour. The National Emergency Management Agency has refuted media reports suggesting the looting of its warehouse in Abuja, asserting that the warehouse in question does not belong to the agency. This was made known in a statement by the NEMA press unit on Sunday yesterday, which was shared on the agency's X account, formerly known as Twitter. Meanwhile, the Agricultural and Rural Development Secretariat of the Federal Capital Territory Administration confirmed the looting of its warehouse in Day yesterday, Sunday, by residents in the FCT over the economic hardship in the country. Away from right now, the FCT Police Command has announced dates and venues for the computer-based test as part of the next phase for applicants to the Nigerian Police Force. In a statement released by the Police Public Relations Officer of the FCT Police Command, the MPF said the test will take place on the 5th and 6th of March across the 9 centers of the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board in the nation's capital. Recall that the chairman of the police service and former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, had assured Nigerians of merit-based recruitment into the Nigerian Police Force based on the Federal Character Commission's requirement of equal representation. The PSC's head of media and publicity, Kwani, in a statement on Saturday, the 24th of February 2024, disclosed that 171,956 who were successful applicants had begun receiving invitations for the next stage, in which involves the CBT. In her statement, Josephine Annie stated that the police had placed a security at all centers of the test to ensure the security of every applicant. In Anambra State, the State House Assembly has expressed deep concern over the effect of crude oil exploration and theft in Ogwibile community, Obaro Council area, by Sterling Oil Exploration and Energy Production Company, SEPCO. Now, during an oversight visit to the community, the Chairman House Committee on Petroleum and Mineral Resources, Honorable Chidebele Ibemeka, said the visit provided an opportunity for legislators to witness firsthand the challenges faced by the community in the region and the operations of the company. During the visit, lawmakers were confronted with the stark reality of environmental degradation, pollution, and socioeconomic hardships caused by oil exploration activities in Ogwibele, as residents shared their grievances, highlighting the adverse effects on their health, agriculture, and overall quality of life. Speaking during the visit, the community chairman and member representing Njikoka Constituency 1, Honorable Ibemeka, voiced the Assembly's disappointment at the company's disregard for its financial obligations to the state government and explained that the company not only deprived the state of crucial revenue, but also undermined its ability to provide essential services and corporate social responsibilities to the host community. The lawmaker discovered that the company does not have metering system to account for the resources they are drilling, stating that the company's gas flaring control is low, thereby killing economic trees and increasing temperature, while they transport products outside the state through underground pipe into batches without any accounting system, as well as no employment of any Anambra indigene. Fielding questions from the lawmaker, the base manager of SEPCO, Mr. Killian Matre, who said he joined the company 2 years ago, noted that over the years there has been exportation of crude oil and pure gas to Delta State before he joined the company, which has 8 oil drilling sites in the state. The Managing Director of Anambra State Health Insurance Agency, ASHA, Dr. Simeon Onyemechi, has sensitized the management of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University on the tertiary institution social health insurance program, which is set to commence next academic session. Dr. Simeon Onyemechi stated that the new National Health Insurance Authority Act 2022 conforms with the provisions of Anambra State Health Insurance Scheme Law 2016, which makes health insurance compulsory for every resident of the state. He noted as sequel to the directive of the Anambra State Executive Council, Anambra State Health Insurance Agency, in partnership with a healthcare agency, proposes to insure students of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University at a premium of 4,000 naira per student per academic session. Dr. Onyemechi disclosed this while in a meeting with the Vice Chancellor, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Professor Kate Omenoha, and members of the school management at Igbariam campus of the university. He disclosed that Anambra State Health Insurance Agency will ensure that students who are outside the school premises on vacation can access health care in National Health Insurance Authority accredited hospitals anywhere in the country using their identity cards. Speaking on behalf of the school management, Professor Omenoha commended the work of Anambra State Health Insurance Agency in ensuring that Anambra residents are given adequate health care at an affordable price. She maintained that the tertiary institution social health insurance program initiative will help greatly in reducing the financial burden of accessing health care services on the part of the students. Away from Nigeria right now, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris says people in Gaza are starving and has urged Israel to significantly increase the flow of aid there. She said there must be an adequate ceasefire for at least the next 6 weeks, which would get the Israeli hostages out. Earlier, Israel did not attend truce talks in Egypt, saying Hamas was not given a list of hostages still alive. Hamas told the international news that it was unable to do so because of the Israeli bombing. Hamas team and mediators from the U.S. and Qatar are understood to be in Egypt's capital, Cairo, for the planned negotiations. Pressure for a ceasefire deal intensified after Thursday's incident outside Gaza City in the north of the Palestinian enclave, where at least 112 people were killed when crowds rushed an aid convoy and Israeli troops opened fire. In Haiti, the government declared a 72-hour state of emergency yesterday Sunday after armed gangs stormed a major Port-au-Prince prison, leading to the killing of at least 12 people and the escape of around 4,000 inmates. Gang leaders say they want to force the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who is currently abroad. The groups aiming to oust him control around 80% of Port-au-Prince. Violent gang wars have killed thousands of people in the country since 2020. A government statement said 2 prisons, one in the capital and the other in nearby Croix de Bouquet, were stormed at the weekend. In India, the alleged gang rape of a tourist with Brazilian-Spanish dual nationality in the eastern Indian state of Jharkhand has led to outrage. The 28-year-old woman and her husband, who were on a motorbike tour, had stopped for the night in Dumki district when the alleged attack took place. Police say that they have arrested 4 men and are searching for 3 more. The identities of the men who are also accused of beating the woman's partner have not been disclosed yet. The couple had traveled to several parts of Asia on their motorbikes before arriving in India a few months ago. Over the weekend, the woman posted a video on their Instagram page, which has 234,000 followers, and she has since deleted the video from her page. Away from that, a SpaceX rocket carrying 3 U.S. astronauts and 1 Russian cosmonaut has blasted off from Florida, bound to the International Space Station ISS. They have a 6-month mission, and space is one of the few areas where the U.S. and Russia continue to cooperate closely despite the war in Ukraine. The 3 men and 1 woman are in a capsule used in space 4 times before by Elon Musk's SpaceX firm. They plan to do various experiments. Their research will include growing artificial replicas of human organs to study degenerative diseases in the low-gravity environment, which is not possible on Earth. We take another break right now. When we return, we move into sports, where Nigeria under-18 women handball team finished second after their 22-16 defeat against Kosovo. These and other stories will come your way in sports. Stay with us. I'm glad to have you here on News Hour. Right now we move to sports, where Nigeria under-18 women handball team finished second after their 22-16 defeat against Kosovo on Sunday in the final of the IHF Women's Trophy Intercontinental Phase in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Nigeria, who until the final game gave and have had a 100% winning streak since the zonal phase and through to the intercontinental phase and then getting into the final, knew they were carrying not just the country's flag but that of the continent of Africa, and started the match with that zeal in the first half. With a 75% shot ability, Nigeria did play with determination to draw the first half 10-10. The second half was a real mess as turnovers set in to curtail the girls, and Kosovo took their chances from near side, the 9 meters wings, and from fast track to defeat Nigeria 22-16. A defender in Nayakazi scored a late winner to secure passage for Rivers United into the quarterfinals of the CAF Confederation Cup as the pride of Rivers beat 10-man Dreams FC of Ghana 2-1 in their last group game at the Godswill Ababio Stadium, Uyo, on Sunday. The 2022 MPFL champions were on the brink of exit in the tournament, but the right back was in the right place at the right time in the opponent's box and slaughtered a powerful low drive into next to send Nigeria's representatives and the fans into wild jubilations. Needing a win to be sure of a place in the next round, Rivers United were stunned by their visitor just before halftime with the winning and opening goal from Abdul Aziz Issa. Deputy Ekcheta restored parity for Rivers in the 61st minute as they kept up the pressure on Ghanaians. Arsenal have apparently drawn up a 4-man shortlist of striking options for the summer transfer window, with Super Eagles to Victor Semen and Victor Boniface among them, during the small spell of winter form in which they won just 1 of 7 games from December 9 to January 7, with just 5 goals to boast. The Gunners were crying out for a new striker to arrive midway through the season. However, with the threat of financial fair play sanctions hovering over their heads, Arsenal, who spent over 200 million euros on Declan Rice, Kai Havertz and Jurriën Timber in the summer transfer window, did not answer their supporters' call. Mikel Arteta and Edu's decision to stick with the options at their disposal has been vindicated, as the Gunners have run riot since returning from a mid-season Dubai training camp, winning each of their first 6 Premier League games in 2024. Away from that, a stunning goal by Democratic Republic of Congo forward Yuen Wissa helped Premier League strugglers Brentford draw 2-2 with Chelsea in a London derby at the weekend. The 27-year-old acrobatically hooked a bicycle kick past goalkeeper Dode Petrovic into the roof of the net midway through the second half to put the home side 2-1 ahead. But French international Axel Disasi equalized to leave Brentford 6 points above the relegation zone with 11 rounds remaining. With our story, we wrap it up on News Hour today. Let's check some of the top stories. We told you that some residents of Lagos have decried the non-implementation of the state government's free antenatal and child delivery services at some general hospitals and primary health centers in the state. A SpaceX rocket carrying 3 U.S. astronauts and 1 Russian cosmonaut has blasted off from Florida bound for the International Space Station. A stunning goal by Democratic Republic of Congo forward UN Wisa helped Premier League strugglers Brentford draw 2-2 with Chelsea in a London derby at weekend. That's it on News Hour. On behalf of the editorial news and production crew, I am Chioma Vic Chukwemeka. Stay with us here on TV Sapiencia. More programs to come your way. Specifically at 4 p.m. we'll bring you a live news hour. Kindly be security conscious, be on the alert, whatever it is you do, ensure you are on the right path with the law. Stay with us.